So I haven't been somebody that's listened to any project of Russ entirely. I've never listened to an entire project from Russ. I did see the interview he did with Rory and Mal, and even way back when he had that interview with Joe Budden, I did see that. But I never listened to a full album from Russ. I still haven't actually. Some tracks I did listen to, but I never paid attention to. As an artist, I never paid attention to Russ tracks, like wanting to actually listen to it. So I listened to this track right here because before this track, there was another one from Chomp 2, if I'm not mistaken, he did a video where he was like outside, and I did like the way that sounded. It still wasn't entirely focused. It was something I just played, I found on my phone. But then this track right here, when I got to this track, this track is fire. Like, I just like the way this sounds because it doesn't sound entirely like hip hop. You know what this has a slight sound like? It actually has a slight sound like reggaeton type of beat because like the way it actually sounds right there on the beat, how he has that. I know he has some type of inspiration from a reggaeton type of beat. The way he did that right here, because it doesn't sound like a regular type of hip hop beat. It just doesn't. But the flow right here is impeccable. It's amazing. It's like just he keeps flowing. And with that type of style, that type of beat right there, the reggaeton type of beat, it gives it a different type of feel like when it comes to the overall track, the production, the sound. Like, it's very, very good. So this being the first track I really focused and listened to Russ, you can understand the talent right there. You can understand, okay, this guy is actually good. I understand why people have been saying listen to Russ, because I remember people recommending it. So I gotta say this first track from Russ that I listened to, What Are Y'all? The way he even says it, he talks about like, because a lot of people were giving him shit way back. You know, he had situations with how he was talking about drugs, like you're lame if you take drugs, and his outlandish type of way of saying it when it comes to just being blunt with it. People were taking it a bad way. So I remember that back when I was watching these shows. I think it was an Everyday Struggle maybe that they talked about that way back. Imagine how much time has passed. So much has passed since then. So, but I never listened to Russ back then either. I would just watch like these interviews. This is my first time actually. Ironically, my battery just died on me. Like, it's tough. This camera sometimes just want to shut itself down by itself. That's tough. But what I was trying to say is, what are y'all? If he has a 20K platinum, also 20K arena platinum projects, then what are y'all? If he's not a star. So that's a tough line. Sometimes I feel like fuck them all. That's where he says it. Forbes, Cash King, 6-time platinum. Not a star, then what are y'all? Great track, man. I gotta say, this is one of those tracks. Recently, I haven't had a track that I feel like I listen to and I say, damn, this track is fire. Like, I could keep replaying it. It's felt like a lot of tracks just come and go for some reason. But this and the Tory Lanez tracks, that's what's been fire lately. Like, actually really, really good because it hasn't happened with other things. It hasn't happened. It really hasn't happened. So great track from Russ. Excuse my voice. A bit of allergies too. But great track, Russ.